So Usman Sheikh read languages at Cambridge University and then law at the University of London. He started his career off in corporate law before establishing himself as a leading immigration specialist, working for both companies and for individuals. He set up Ansar as a boutique immigration firm about 10 years ago, but he also has expertise in compliance and is a member of the Solicitors Disciplinary Tribunal, where he adjudicates on conduct issues relating to solicitors. Great to have you with us today, Usman.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
So, Usman, what attracted you to immigration law as a specialist?
I think at the start, I was lucky to be dealing with a number of clients who were very international individuals and had very international cases. And they had very interesting situations that they were involved in, and that sort of gave me my initial interest in the field. That said, it's always kept me very interested as well, but in the sense that I speak a few languages and I've been able to use my languages. There's always a big kind of political interest in immigration as well. And I always feel that the work that I do is very much in the political sphere. And there's a lot to keep on top of, I think, from our perspective.
Yes.
Immigration law is always changing. Fundamentally, though, one of the main reasons I really enjoy immigration law is because it allows me to help my clients in a very practical way. I really enjoy it for all of those reasons.
Yeah. And can you tell me a bit more about the range of work that you do? What are the typical types of cases you have?
Yeah, what I tend to say is only immigration, but all types of immigration. So to some extent, that could be work immigration or family immigration, study immigration, et cetera, et cetera. But having said that, it's fair to say that we do a lot of work in particular on kind of work immigration, business immigration to the UK. That's particularly helping people that want to bring employees over from other countries to work for their businesses in the UK.
Yes. You also have something of an entrepreneurial bug as well, having set your own law firm up nearly 10 years ago. Tell me a bit more about that. Why did you decide to go off on your own, as it were?
Yeah, I suppose there's a few things. First of all, I tend to have quite a lot of ideas throughout my career. I always try to reflect on the places that I've worked in and what I've seen around me. That has always given me quite a few ideas, partly about how to deal with clients, because that was always the most immediate thing that I could see, but also wider business ideas about types of clients to focus on, potential kind of growth areas, how to get clients in, things like that. And setting up my own practice really gave me the opportunity to implement all of that. I think obviously as a junior lawyer, it's quite easy to have ideas, but depending on the firm you're at, perhaps sometimes a bit more difficult to get the opportunity to implement it.
Yeah, so you're the one who's in control now, and you can move quickly, make decisions quickly, and so on. I guess that's a big part of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And where do you envisage the firm being in a few years? What are your plans?
I mentioned that we do a lot on work immigration. As I mentioned, people coming to the UK for the purpose of work. And I think is certainly a growth that's grown a lot since Brexit. That's certainly the case, and I suspect that will continue to grow. There are lots of businesses out there that need to gain the right to sponsor people from overseas to fill gaps in their workforce. And I think that there are also many businesses out there that need a lot more help with compliance, with immigration compliance, because I think that is an underappreciated area of regulation for lots of businesses.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. Now, we met through networking, of course. Networking is key to growing a firm. How's it contributed to your firm's growth? And do you have any tips for law firm owners and partners?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course, it's been very important for my firm. I've done a lot of networking in a number of different places over the last few years. I'd say probably at least the last 5 years or so. And that's been really important for our growth. And there's the obvious point that if you go out there and meet business people, that you're going to be able to take on business people as clients. So there's that point. I think beyond that, though, one of the things I've enjoyed most is actually learning from other business people. Because as people that run law firms, I think it's really important that we try to learn from people that run other sorts of businesses to try to see how we can implement that in our own work.
Sometimes there's a misplaced idea in law firms that the business is really unique and doesn't necessarily have the same issues as other service providers.
Yes, I think obviously there are certain things that are particular to the legal sector, but I think that there are lots of other things that are very common to many businesses. And I think that's often underappreciated by people that run law firms.
Yes, I completely agree. Now, with your compliance hat, what do you see as the greatest challenges facing law firms in the near future?
I think there are a number of things. Partly, I suppose, for law firms in general, obviously, the challenge of the kind of, if you like, the unregulated sector.
Yes.
Obviously, there are certain areas of legal practice that can be done outside of a kind of a standard traditional regulated law firm. And so that's obviously a challenge up to a point. In terms of immigration, I think there are particular concerns there, and there have been a lot of very negative reports, obviously, in the news about poor practice by immigration lawyers and controversial kind of conduct, if you like. And so, as a result of that, there's increasing regulatory focus on this area, on the area of immigration law firms. And so, that's
Yes.
certainly a challenge, and that's certainly something that immigration lawyers need to be particularly aware of.
Yes, absolutely. But good to know that the SRA's focus is on bad practice in that area. Excellent. Finally, if anyone wishes to get in touch with you, what's the best method of contact?
I tend to say the best way to contact us in the first instance is via our website. The website's ansar.london, and there's a contact form there, lots of information about us and the sort of work that we do. Obviously, always happy to help with immigration matters. Yeah, but by all means, the website would be the first port of call.
Great. Okay. Usman, it's been fantastic to have you with me today.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. It's a pleasure to speak to you.